Hey, what's going on, guys? This is an audio only video that I'm going to do right before I go to bed. But there are and have been pro-Palestinian protests in Cape Town, South Africa over the last few days. And they have marched to South Africa's Parliament building, which is in Cape Town, and they have demanded that South Africa side with the Palestinians, which basically the ANC government does already. Now, I firmly believe that these protesters were mostly in the wrong. Now, the protesters, from what I saw, look peaceful, and it's their right to protest. But I am on the side of Israel with this, okay, for the most part. Now, before I go any further, Netanyahu should have not unlawfully evicted Palestinians from their apartments, okay? He shouldn't have done that, all right? But the Palestinians in Gaza and in the West Bank have really decimated their cause by launching 1,000 rockets into Israel, and it's all aimed at civilian sites. The 7 Israeli casualties that have happened have been all civilians. One of them was a 7-year-old boy, and 2 of them were women. That's almost 50% of the Israeli casualties right there. So when that happened, Israel had a right to target terrorists from Hamas, and Hamas is the government that was elected by people in Gaza and in the West Bank. And Hamas is basically a terrorist organization. And it is a terrorist organization. They have claimed responsibility for bombing Israeli restaurants with nothing but civilians in there. And, many people in Hamas raise their children to be suicide bombers. So Israel had a right to retaliate, and they've killed 14 Hamas military leaders. One of them was Hamas's anti-tank commander. And then Islamic Jihad, another terrorist organization in the West Bank and Gaza that targets a lot of civilians in Israel. Islamic Jihad has confirmed that 2 of their commanders have died as well. So when Israel retaliates, they don't go out and try to kill every innocent Palestinian or any civilian Palestinians. They go out and they try to target the terrorists, and mostly the terrorist commanders. And that's a big issue right there. And then the other thing that I don't think the protesters get, the handful of Palestinian civilian casualties that have happened is in war accidents can happen sometimes, that's when there may be some false intelligence reports that a terrorist was there, or the terrorist had just left and they intended to kill the terrorist but accidentally hit a civilian, which does happen in war. But then also, a lot of the terrorists of Hamas and Islamic Jihad and Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade, they blend in with the civilian population, and a lot of times will use their own people, not their own people, but innocent Palestinians as shields, human shields, which is sick. So, anyways, I think the protesters are wrong. Is it their right to protest? Yes. Have those pro-Palestinian protests in Cape Town been peaceful? Yes, but I think they're in the wrong believing what they believe. It's their right to do it, but my right to say I don't agree with them. Anyways, hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless them. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.